President Trump announced Monday that Russia and Ukraine will immediately begin negotiations for a ceasefire, following phone calls with President Putin and President Zelensky. The Vatican has offered to host these critical talks. The White House confirmed Trump spoke with Putin for about 2 hours after his earlier conversation with Zelensky. Trump, who has been advocating for a 30-day ceasefire, expressed his prior frustration with both sides' lack of progress. He had pushed for a ceasefire before even entering office, yet previous diplomatic efforts failed to secure even basic agreement terms with Putin.
The announcement follows Putin's absence from direct talks in Istanbul the previous week, despite proposing them himself. While Zelensky traveled to Turkey hoping to meet Putin, the Russian leader sent a lower-level delegation. Although a ceasefire wasn't reached, the sides did agree on a swap of 1,000 prisoners and committed to ongoing discussions. Trump described his conversation with Putin as excellent and stated that large-scale trade between Russia and the U.S. could happen when this catastrophic bloodbath is over. It's unclear if Trump is quoting himself or Putin in referring to the war as a bloodbath.
Trump emphasized that Russia has a tremendous opportunity to create jobs and wealth, calling its potential unlimited. He also noted that Ukraine could be a significant beneficiary on trade, in the process of rebuilding its country. Following his call with Putin, Trump spoke with leaders of the EU, France, Italy, Germany, and Finland. He reiterated the Vatican's interest in hosting negotiations, urging, "Let the process begin." However, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov downplayed expectations of a quick agreement, stating ending the conflict would require rather painstaking and, perhaps, prolonged work.
Zelensky, in a press conference, rejected Putin's demand for Ukrainian troops to withdraw from partially occupied regions. He stated, "It's our land, we won't withdraw our troops from our territory. It means that they don't want peace. If they demand what they know we won't agree to." Zelensky also expressed openness to Turkey, the Vatican, and Switzerland as potential venues for direct negotiations. However, he cautioned against Putin using talks as a tactic to prolong the war without consequences and called for increased sanctions to pressure Moscow to halt its attacks.
Zelensky emphasized that Ukraine has always been ready for peace and that Russia can end the war any day. Some Ukrainian lawmakers quickly rejected Putin's commitment to talks, with Kira Rudik stating, "We see absolutely no signs of peace, either on the ground or in the skies. The only thing I would trust is, he is ready to continue the war." The Vatican has recently served as a backdrop for repaired ties between the U.S. and Ukraine. Trump and Zelensky met privately during Pope Francis' funeral, and Zelensky met with U.S. officials in Rome on the sidelines of Pope Leo XIV's inauguration.
While Ukraine's supporters may be disappointed with Trump's positive remarks about Putin and potential business deals, bipartisan lawmakers in Congress have prepared legislation to impose greater sanctions on Russia, but the White House has shown little sign of bringing it to a vote. Republicans have voiced concerns about trusting Putin and have argued that only pressure will compel him to end the war. Senator John Cornyn stated that Putin has disrespected the U.S. The situation remains fluid, and ongoing negotiations will be closely watched.